So go figure, not even 1 week since I posted my vlog about going for 1,000 subscribers, YouTube has come out and changed the criteria for the YouTube Partner Program. And by the time I post this video online, this has already become a huge issue amongst the YouTube community, especially those who are small content creators like myself. While I was at work today, I saw a bunch of stuff on social media. I watched a ton of videos and saw a ton of people posting about how could YouTube do this, how upset people were getting, how people were quitting YouTube and all this stuff. And then following that, I saw a huge response from a lot of the big YouTubers, including PewDiePie, saying that this is something important and that YouTube needs to do it, and kind of going on the complete opposite side. Some people were saying that the smaller YouTube creators were being over dramatic and all that stuff. And I think the truth is somewhere in the middle here. It usually is, there's usually like the extremes on both sides, but in this case I think it's in the middle, and if anything it's kind of leaning towards the bigger YouTubers, and I think they are right. But I do feel the need to kind of defend the small creators, because I am one of them, and kind of explain what's going on, because this does affect me. And if you're watching this video, maybe it affects you, or maybe you follow my page and are interested in this, or maybe haven't heard about this. But this kind of goes down to what makes you eligible to be like a verified YouTube person. Well, not even verified. I mean, you become a partner, and then later on, if you become very successful, you get verified. You get a check mark, kind of like on Twitter. I don't know if Facebook has something like that. I know Instagram, I think, does. You get like a check mark or some kind of verification to say that you're like super legit. And the partnership program really just gives you more features on YouTube and enables you to monetize your page. So what I want to do here real quick is go through the blog post and kind of go through my opinion of what's going on with YouTube and their decision behind this, because I think you can tell a lot through this blog post and kind of see from a corporate perspective like what's going on. And I feel like from a corporate employee like I am myself, I kind of see this as a PR thing. The one thing I thought was very shady is that YouTube did this in the middle of the night. I got this email at like 11:05 p.m. I didn't see it until the next morning, so it kind of slowly became an outrage overnight and then into today. So that was on Tuesday, January 16th was the official post. So you can see this is from Tuesday, but the actual backlash really didn't occur till January 17th, when the news got out and people started posting videos and all that stuff. So let's start. They said, I'll skip through this. In 2017 marked a tough year for many of you, with issues affecting the YouTube community, which I feel like this has been going on for years, not just 2017. Something interesting they mentioned here, that the number of channels making over six figures went up 40% year over year, which is a huge thing. So a lot of channels are making over $100,000, and that in 2018, their primary focus is to create a safe ecosystem and ensure that revenue is stable. And even from a small content creator, I totally understand this. Revenue is not stable on YouTube. It used to be a lot more stable, but now people can kind of bid on the ads that you get. So without going into details, say ads were on a scale from 1 to 10. Sometimes you can get an ad that's worth $1, or 1 on a scale of 1 to 10. And sometimes you can get an ad that's worth 10 on a scale of 10, not $10. That's not how it works. It's more like pennies, but very unstable. So I get that from a big content creator standpoint, but really that's not affecting them. It's benefiting them. So all the negative stuff is happening to the small content creators like myself, which I find to be a little bit annoying, but I understand it. So I could kind of go through the YouTube history here, but I could talk about it forever. I'm trying to make this video shorter than I would originally intend to. But back in the day, like 10 years ago, it was very difficult to become a YouTube partner. You had to have a lot of subscribers, a lot of views, and then you would get invited, or you could apply, and they would decide and evaluate your page on like an individual basis. Then eventually, somewhere down the line, like a couple of years ago, they kind of let anybody become a creator, and people were putting ads on like a video that had 1 view, which is kind of ridiculous. So then in April of 2017, they set the partnership program eligibility for 10,000 lifetime views, which this kind of stuff I totally agree with. I love having these lifetime views. If anything, this should be a lot higher. This should be 100,000 lifetime views or 1 million lifetime views. These kind of goal things, or whatever benchmarks, to me are a lot more achievable and set and defined than some of the things they're coming out with now, which I'll get into in a second. So what they're changing is, starting today, we're changing the eligibility requirement for monetization to have 4,000 hours of watch time within the past 12 months and 1,000 subscribers. This isn't an and or, this is a strict and. And for someone like me, I have 911 subscribers, so I'm close to the 1,000 subscribers, and this is totally achievable. This, I totally understand, but the 4,000 hours of watch time is going to be difficult for a lot of channels, especially because this fluctuates year over year, month to month. So there could be a month where your last 12 months you have 3,900 hours, and then the next month you might get a lot of views, so then your last 12 months you have 4,200 hours. So how are they going to treat a channel that's on the cusp like this? I really don't get that. When once you hit 1,000 subscribers, you really don't go backwards unless there's some rare exception. A lot of times you stay at 1,000 or you slowly creep up. Like me, I get a couple of subscribers and I lose one, I get 5, then I lose one. So this, to me, 1,000 subscribers and lifetime views is way more achievable, way more concrete than just having like a trailing 12 months kind of criteria, which to me is a little off. But fortunately for me, I get about 5,000 to 6,000 hours of watch time in a year, maybe even a little bit more than that. So I'm over this criteria. I'm just not at 1,000. And unfortunately, like I said, I had just made a video about this, how I want to hit my 1,000 subscriber goal faster than my forecast, which is like later on in the year. But they're only giving people 30 days to get this done, which I feel like is also kind of crazy. They are going to pay people out who have made money, because YouTube, if you don't know, only pays you out if you make $100, then you get a check. I mean, if you make 1,000 in a month, then you get paid 1,000, but they won't pay you out if you only made $50 in a month. You have to hit 100, so then that will carry over until the next month. So if you had only made $50 in the course of the last year, they are going to pay you out, which I like that. But overall, I just don't like that they're doing this in the middle of the night. Like I said, they sent this out 11 o'clock at night, and that they're only giving us 30 days, which, isn't a lot of notice. And if we continue on here, so they're saying that 30-day grace period, which isn't a lot. I mean, YouTube doesn't come out and comment on a lot of things. They're not very active in like the community and commenting on stuff like this. So then they say they've been working on it for years, but then they come out in the middle of nowhere and say 30 days, which to me I hate. It'd be one thing if they said in November, okay, hey, listen, we're going to be making the eligibility to become a YouTube very strict. Be on the lookout for that. All that stuff, so that people were expecting this, and then they made an announcement. But instead they have to do it completely YouTube style, which I hate. I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with YouTube. I definitely love them way more than I hate them, but this kind of stuff is frustrating when you're putting a lot of time into YouTube, which becomes a whole different thing. Is YouTube social media? Is it like a job? Is it, for some people it is, some people it's just social media, for some people it's more than that, for some people it's like their own television network. It's a very complicated and complex platform, so it goes, I think, beyond just being social media in some senses for some people. So then they go on to say that most of the channels here that are affected by this, including myself, were making less than $100 per year. I was making a little more than that, but I totally get this. It's not a lot of money, but my defense to this is that this money does impact you. I mean, if someone's watching your video, it is a legitimate view, so why not give them the revenue from that ads? And stuff like this kind of pays for like Photoshop for the year, maybe for someone's video editor for the year, and stuff like that goes a long way. It kind of keeps you incentivized to keep going. But at the end of the day, that's pretty much the summary of this blog. I saw a lot of content creators saying that they were just going to quit and being way too over dramatic, when realistically you're not making a lot of money if you have under 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 hours of watch time. It's not enough to really complain about. Yes, it'd be nice, but you're not really entitled to it, so I agree. And also, 1,000 subscribers isn't that high of a benchmark. I mean, it's definitely tough to get from 0 to 1,000 subscribers. I just made a whole video talking about how hard it is, but it's not enough to me to just quit and give up and completely complain about it and make some huge deal about it. So I feel like if you have that opinion of it, if you're a fellow YouTuber and you're watching this video, then you really should reevaluate what you're doing on YouTube. Because for a lot of people, including myself, I just do this for fun, and if I ever become popular, that's an added benefit. Now, if I can get $100 later on, that's an added benefit. But for me, I'm going to keep going, and if anything, this incentivizes me to work even harder, to post even more videos, to hit that goal. It's nice having like a better set goal. And even then, once you hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, you're not even a successful YouTuber. You're not even close yet. So you're so far away that even then it doesn't even matter. PewDiePie came out and said that he didn't monetize his page till he had 25,000 subscribers. So I think That's really important to have that perspective and look at it. I always tell people that they shouldn't be monetizing their page unless their video, individual video is getting over 1,000 views, or it's getting, your overall page has over this amount of views, like 100,000 views. Because anything before that, you're just risking having like invalid click activity, issues with your account. You're going to make yourself kind of just under more scrutiny if something happens. It's not worth the risk. Stay under the radar until you have a developed following, developed subscriber base, and all that stuff. So that's my thoughts and opinions with everybody else. For me, I have to hustle and really hit that 1,000 subscribers so I can keep this. I don't want to have any issues with YouTube. I want to work harder. I want to get this. I want to go over 1,000 subscribers. And it's just ironic that I just made the video about it. They come out with this stuff and shit goes crazy. So go figure. I wish I had more than 30 days or whatever it is, 35 days. But we'll try to make things happen. So if you're watching this video, I hate adding this stuff at the end of the video, but for people like me, if you're watching your favorite YouTuber, or even myself, it is really important to like a video or subscribe, because this kind of stuff really makes a difference. If you see a guy who has 1 million subscribers, yes, maybe less of a difference, but for a small YouTuber, it really is important to subscribe if you support their page. If you don't like them, maybe even, write a note, say, this video isn't good because of this, or it would be better if you did this, because constructive criticism always helps people, or just don't subscribe. But if you do appreciate their content, it really is helpful subscribing and doing all that stuff. It goes a long way in the YouTube world. So anyways, with all that being said, that's my thought on this thing. Not the end of the world. Bad timing. Wish YouTube did it better, but we pretty much say this every time YouTube does something like this. It's usually the same old story. So that's all I got. Thank you all for watching. I'm Blitz5, and peace out.